Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the super early preview of things that are going to be happening at the end game of Shadowlands. One of the big things announced yesterday in the big update to Shadowlands was the new adventure table. It is now called the adventure mission table, scouting map, whatever you want to call it. And this time they've decided to try and make it more fun, make it more interesting. This is going to be very polarizing in the community, I'm sure, as to how this thing works. But it's super early. Remember, I'm on a private realm right now that was provided to some of us in order to have around 20 hours to check this stuff out. It's been a long night. But let's have a look at it. So as you can see now, we have adventurers. Now, Blizzard has given us all the adventurers for testing purposes. It will be something you gradually build up, I have no doubt, over time. Now, what you're going to notice is our adventurers, you can see this long list of adventurers I have here, have abilities. So they have abilities like Mirrors of Torment. Simone wields her mirror with precision, dealing 75 arcane damage to the furthest away enemy. This one heals your allies for 7 every 4 turns. You can see the cooldown is 4 turns on that. Cooldown is 1 turn on that one. So lots and lots of different abilities in here. We have only got the Venthia one to check out right now. But let's have a look at how this works. So if I go over to... I've got my adventurers. I'm now going to go to the mission table as you would in BFA or WoD or Legion or whatever. And now we click on here. So you can see we've got some missions. Some interesting choices here. Again, super early. I've no doubt this will change. Including some very specific transmog stuff. So if you wanted Glorinzig and Valius, Gabble of the Lightbringer from ICC, this is here. As well as rank 4 essences. Which is kind of interesting. That popped up on here. Some typical stuff, of course, like reputation gain for the quartermasters that we'll find around Shadowlands, and some gold ones as well. So first of all, I'm going to show you like how the auto battler plays out. So if I look here, you can see it just plays out when I click on it. So these are all based on the abilities that I placed into these windows, and we're going to do that in a second. But you get this sort of auto battler that goes on. This is actually a hard one. We might fail this. We kind of had a guess. I haven't had enough time to sort of really get to grips with how the system works. Now, this is the boss one for these rewards, and as you can see, these ads heal 20% of max health every 4 turns, or cooldown of 4. So we weren't really sure. We wanted to, like, do we turbo the boss, the Alpha Wolf, so we can kill him before they heal him, or do we kill all the ads and see how it goes from there? So I'm kind of curious myself how this will play out. We hope we've made the right choices, for sure. We have managed to take out 2 of the ads there. Oh, has this survived on like 1 health? Oh, it is gone now, but we've lost one of our guys. But we seem to be wearing them down pretty well. We are using, again, they gave us access to every adventurer, so no doubt in the early days this isn't going to be possible, because your followers, your Soulbind followers, also become people you can use on your mission table. I think a lot of people suspected, at least I did, that the Soulbinds would actually accompany you out in the open world. That seemingly is not the case. They actually come here. We did kill the boss, so we did win. Woohoo! Combat complete. So now we get our rewards. We earned Glorinzig, we earned Valius, and we got all 3 of those rewards. There they go. They're in my inventory, and now they've been added to my appearance collection. No, I'm not a transmogger. No, I don't already have those things. And I've actually unlocked another golden one now, which is just giving 80 gold. Now, you can, of course, skip. Okay, so that's why I put 2 of them up. You can, of course, skip and get the rewards straight away. You don't need to watch this. The obvious questions I'm sure many of you have is, will an add-on just take care of this for me? Let's look at how it works before we go down that scenario. So once I click on here, this is the mission. I have to kill these 8 ads, and they deal 15 damage to the closest enemy. All right, that's what they do. So in that scenario, perhaps I want to put General Draven, who's the tankier one. You can see Draven's wingspan shields himself and all allies, reducing all damage taken by 20%. And Draven sweeps his wings, dealing 3 physical damage to all enemies. So he's a big AoEer. So I want to put him like here, right? I want him to be the closest one to a lot of these enemies, so that they attack him while he's like the tankier enemy. But now I need to figure out how I'm going to kill these guys. So we have a healer, so we can put a healer in the back. What do we have here? This is Nadia. She's a Soulbind, so she strikes the closest enemy twice, dealing 40 and 20 physical damage. So she does some damage, then she disappears with a cooldown of 4 and heals herself. So I can put her in here. You can see she's going to attack that enemy. Now, she will attack the back row as well if they're the closest enemy, so we can put that in. We can also get some enemies that attack the entire farthest away. You can see it rips a memory from the farthest enemy, dealing 33 shadow damage. So if I put him here, he's going to attack them and then cycle through the rest of them. So we can put him in, and then we can put Theotar in. Theotar rips the blood from all enemies at range and increasing the damage they take by 33%. So he's going to debuff the entire back row. All right, and then he will alter. I don't think he actually even attacks the front row. I'm not sure how that exactly works. But that's how you do it. You look at what the enemies can do, and you plan your team accordingly in order to counter them effectively, and then you send it on its way. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking, that sounds really cool, and I'm sure some of you are thinking that sounds really annoying. I think the line needs to be drawn, and Blizzard needs to be really careful. And again, this might not be a thing. I want to be clear on that. I haven't had enough time to really deal with it. It's for stuff like, if the rewards are going to stay like this, which they're probably not, 18 gold, do I really want to be asked with this, or do I just want to throw anybody in and see, just say GG to send it on its way? For 18 gold, do I really want to be spending maybe a minute plus of my time messing around with it? Now, I will point out, this is entirely doable via your mobile phone, so you can do this on the toilet. If that's your point of view, that's what Blizzard's trying to get out there, is you can mess around with this on your mobile phone. It's interesting. For me, personally, I'm more of the guy that goes to his mission table and wants it out of the way. It's just kind of like a chore that I need to get done, and I'm not overly interested in having to really go into depth with stuff like this. And there's a very high likelihood, at least in my case, if I get a reward that's like gold based, where I have a lot of gold anyway, I'm probably not going to bother and just get it for reputation and things like that. Some of you, though, are probably going to play around with this a lot. So it's really that situation that you're in where it's like, it could be good, it might be bad. It's going to be a polarizing thing for sure, whether you want it to, whether this just seems like an annoyance, or whether it's just something you want to get out of the way. But that is how the mission table is looking right now. My feedback would probably be, and again, I want to be clear, this might already be the case. It's for the really simple ones. Does it really matter? I just kind of want it done. You know, I just want it out of the way. Maybe I can just send them on their way and just drag them in. I'm sure some of them, this is already finished. So let's see whether we just dragged stuff in and it just worked. I think it will do for these easy enemies. In fact, we can just continue. I already don't want to watch this. I'm sorry, Blizzard. I get what you're going for, but I really don't want to watch it. I only care whether I won or not, if I'm being honest with you. And get the reward. It's cool, and it's similar to what they did in Hearthstone for sure. I get the idea behind it. I just don't feel like it'd be nice if it would be really cool if there was some way of using this system to maybe make the characters stronger. I mean, the reason that auto battlers work is because every round you can then make some choices and things, and that seems to be the bit that's missing, not the actual battle itself. Like the first round, no one really cares. What we're after is what happens next. And then trying to counter each other. So, who knows how this will go out? Is there some potential here to play against other players and put your teams in? Can we earn stuff that modifies these guys in some way? I don't know. It feels like it's part of a system. I get what you're going for. For me personally, it feels a little annoying. But that's going to be down to you guys to decide. I can certainly see myself skipping some of these, though, just for the sake. Unless an add-on does take care of it for me. Please make that add-on, because this isn't my kind of jam. But I think for some of you, maybe you'll find this a bit fun. Thank you for listening. Enjoy. Goodbye.